Have you ever heard a story so crazy you just had to know more? Well, get ready, because today we're diving into some of the wildest tales from around the globe, from alien encounters to epic hoaxes. Let's start with something that sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Picture this: it's March 2025 in Buga, Colombia. A strange, metallic sphere is spotted falling from the sky. But it's not just falling, it's performing bizarre flight maneuvers. When authorities finally get their hands on it, Exorius reveals something astounding. Inside the sphere are three distinct metallic layers, 80 tiny internal microspheres, and at the very center, a mysterious chip. The internet exploded with theories of extraterrestrial origin. And honestly, can you blame them? To this day, its true nature remains unconfirmed, leaving us all to wonder, was it a message from another world? Now, from the cosmos to your jewelry box, let's talk about diamonds. You probably think they're incredibly rare, right? That's what makes them so expensive. Well, what if I told you that's one of the most successful marketing lies in history? The truth is, diamonds aren't naturally rare at all. The entire perception of their value was crafted by one company, De Beers. They masterfully controlled the global supply, creating an artificial scarcity. This allowed them to set the price and even invent social standards, like the idea that an engagement ring should cost 3 months' salary. So, next time you see a diamond, remember, you're not just looking at a stone, you're looking at a century-long marketing masterpiece. Our next story takes us to the vast swamps of South Kalimantan, Indonesia, specifically Nagara Village. Here, a unique and ancient tradition is slowly fading away: underwater burials. In a region where dry land is a luxury, the community adapted by placing their deceased in submerged graves. It's a fascinating and now declining practice that shows how culture and environment are deeply intertwined. It's a somber but beautiful testament to human adaptability in the face of unique geographical challenges. From water to beer. A lot of beer. We're heading back to London in 1814 for the Great London Beer Flood. This wasn't a party, it was a disaster. A massive brewing vat at the Mon brewery suddenly ruptured, unleashing a 15-foot-high tsunami of dark, heavy porter beer. The wave crashed through the narrow streets of a poor neighborhood, destroying homes and tragically killing 8 people. What's even more unbelievable, the brewery was taken to court but was found not guilty. The whole event was ruled an act of God. To add insult to injury, the brewery even got a tax refund for the buyer they lost. You just can't make this stuff up. Now, for a masterclass in modern-day deception, imagine creating the #1 restaurant in London without serving a single real meal. That's exactly what journalist Uba Butler did. He invented a fake restaurant called The Shed, located in, you guessed it, his garden shed. He created a website, listed a fake menu with dishes named after moods, and enforced an appointment-only policy to create an illusion of exclusivity. Then, he and his friends flooded TripAdvisor with bogus, glowing reviews. Within months, The Shed rocketed to the #1 spot, becoming the most sought-after reservation in one of the world's culinary capitals. This brilliant social experiment perfectly illustrates the absurd power and unreliability of online reviews. People were desperate to eat at a restaurant that didn't even exist. Finally, we go from fake food to a very real war, but one fought in a very unconventional way. This is the story of the Toyota War. In 1987, a conflict erupted between Chad and Libya. On paper, Chad was hopelessly outmatched. Libya, backed by Colonel Gaddafi, had a formidable army with tanks, aircraft, and heavy artillery. Chad, on the other hand, had about 400 Toyota pickup trucks, mostly Hiluxes and Land Cruisers. But what they lacked in firepower, they made up for in strategy. They mounted anti-tank missiles and heavy machine guns onto these fast, nimble pickups and used them to outmaneuver the slow, lumbering Libyan tanks. Embracing speed and adaptability, the Chadian forces executed brilliant hit-and-run tactics, zipping across the desert and creating chaos. They proved that clever strategy and a bit of ingenuity can overcome sheer brute force. It's a Mataranda David and Goliath story, but with pickup trucks instead of a slingshot. From mysterious alien-spheres and marketing schemes to beer tsunamis and wars won with the world is filled with stories that blur the line between fact and fiction. Each one shows us that reality is often stranger, funnier, and more fascinating than anything we could imagine. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through some of the world's craziest stories. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one!